Welcome to Putker Construction's orientation. The information included in this presentation discusses the minimum requirements for our projects. If there are any questions, please ask your supervisor. Personal protective equipment. Putker Construction requires all workers to wear hard hats, high visibility clothing, safety glasses, steel toe or composite toe boots, long work pants, and shirts with sleeves. Gloves shall be readily available and on your person should you need them. Given your assigned task, additional personal protective equipment may be required. Housekeeping. Clean up work areas daily. Place trash and debris in proper receptacles. Having a clean job site can help mitigate slips, trips, and falls. Everyone is responsible for their own cleanup. Food and drink shall only be consumed in designated break areas and trash thrown away properly. Only water is allowed outside of break areas. Tobacco, drug, and alcohol-free policy. All projects and properties under Putker Construction control are tobacco, alcohol, and drug-free. This includes the use of e-cigarettes and vaping devices. Being impaired on the job will not be tolerated and is grounds for dismissal. Parking and vehicle operation. Parking is only allowed in designated areas. Vehicles and equipment on site must be operated at safe speeds, and reckless driving or operation will not be tolerated. Emergency information and regulatory postings. Emergency contact numbers are located at every Putker Construction project trailer. All workers should be familiar with these prior to beginning work. Also, OSHA, labor laws, wage information posters, safety programs, and other applicable information are located in the Putker Construction job trailer. First aid kit locations. At the very minimum, a small first aid kit is located in each Putker Construction truck. Projects with job trailers will have a kit located in the trailer. Given the location of a project, an AED, automated external defibrillator, may be available. Putker Construction strives to have all their supervisors first aid CPR trained. However, all kits and AEDs have easy to follow instructions when administering help. Toolbox Talks. Toolbox Talks are held weekly at a time and place designated by the project team. All employees and subcontractors are required to attend, even if separate Toolbox Talks are held. Hazard communication. Putker Construction utilizes an electronic cloud-based system to house the numerous SDSs, safety data sheets, that may be encountered on a given job site. Every product that arrives to the site shall be accompanied by its own SDS and added to the Putker Construction e-binder. By doing this task, it provides vital information should an incident occur. The e-binder can be accessed by either typing in the address into a web browser, scanning the QR code with a mobile device, or accessing the portal through the desktop icon on each Putker Construction computer. For situations where connectivity is lost, please utilize the backup folder also located on each desktop. After one of the access methods are chosen, the website will populate and look like the picture on the slide. From this window, an individual can search the Putker Construction binder or the 2 million plus products in the MSDS online database. If there are any questions, please contact your Putker Construction representative. Emergency response and evacuation. Emergency response and evacuation allows employees to have direction in what could be considered a very chaotic situation. Situations could include, but are not limited to, fire, severe weather, earthquake, chemical spill, active shooter, terrorist attack, and flooding. Whenever one of these events occurs, it is important that employees follow protocols and respond immediately. When safe to do so, employees must muster to the meeting points designated. This picture is an example layout for meeting points. Putker Construction site personnel will determine the meeting points for your respective project. Reporting procedures. All injuries including first aids, good catches, near misses, vehicle accidents, and property damage must be reported immediately to your supervisor. This allows us to investigate, identify trends, and determine root cause. It is Putker Construction's expectation that everyone cooperates with designated investigators when an incident investigation is being conducted. Fall protection. Fall protection must be utilized when working from elevated work surfaces with a fall hazard of 6 feet or more. When analyzing fall potential and mitigation of the hazard, we must refer to the hierarchy of controls. Elimination is the preferred method and must be exhausted before other controls are explored. When elimination is not possible, guardrails are the most common installation. Guardrails must be installed with the top rail at 42 inches plus or minus 3 inches, rated to withstand 200 pounds of pressure both up and outward. A mid-rail at 21 inches and toe boards installed if there is potential for workers to be struck by falling objects below. The next most common fall prevention control is the use of a personal fall rest system. These are comprised of a rated anchorage point, connecting device, either a lanyard or self-retracting lanyard, full body harness equipped with trauma straps to assist in self-rescue. Personal fall protection equipment must be inspected before use, and damaged or defective items shall be taken out of service immediately. Fall protection equipment shall also be sized for each employee and worn correctly. Used in an application for which it was designed, employees must be trained on the equipment they are assigned. If you have any questions in regards to this policy, please contact your supervisor. Ladders, scaffolds, and lifts. Ladders must be inspected before use. Look for damaged rungs, missing tags, bent or overflexed arms, cracks, or other damage. If any of these defects are found, the ladder shall be taken out of service immediately. Use ladders for their intended use and never lean a step ladder unless it's specifically designed to do so. Maintain 3 points of contact at all times while ascending and descending from the working level. Keep your belt buckle positioned between the rails while on the ladder. Hoist materials using a rope and never carry anything while climbing. Never stand on the top rung. This could cause you to fall, resulting in injury or death. Extension ladders shall be installed using a 4-to-1 slope, meaning for every 4 foot in elevation, the base is extended outward 1 foot. Extension ladders must extend 3 foot above the working surface and shall be secured at both the top and bottom. Scaffolding must be installed and dismantled under the supervision of a competent person. Scaffolds shall have base plates and mud sills installed properly sized and of appropriate materials. Working surfaces must be fully planked, and workers will never be permitted to climb on bracing. Designated access points with ladders must be determined. Personal fall rest systems or guardrails shall be utilized anytime scaffolds are over 6 foot in height. In addition, inspections shall be done by the competent person and tagged appropriately prior to anyone accessing the scaffold. Articulating boom lifts and scissor lifts help us get personnel to elevated working areas and are common pieces of equipment on our job sites. Operators must be trained on the equipment they are using. Equipment must be inspected before use, and equipment found inadequate taken out of service immediately. Personal fall protection with appropriately sized SRL or lanyard must be utilized at all times when operating these types of equipment. Overhead work. Overhead work greatly increases the potential of falling objects striking a person below. Tasks include, but are not limited to, working off man lifts, steel erection, masonry work off scaffolding, and roofing work. We have controls we can put in place to protect those workers down below from being struck by objects. These controls include restricting access to the work area, This would include flagging and barricading off the area in question, posting signage warning others of the potential hazards above, tethering tools, equipment, and materials, utilizing spotters and monitors so that individuals do not inadvertently walk into the area. At no time is it acceptable for employees to work under suspended loads, regardless if the employee is authorized to be in the work area or not. Swing radiuses for equipment that can pivot on a center pin shall be flagged off or barricaded. By doing this will help eliminate the potential of a struck by or caught between incident. Excavation and trenching. Excavation and trenching work shall be done under the direct supervision of a competent person. This person should have an understanding of the work, be able to identify hazards, and provide corrective action. Each contractor performing ground penetrating activities shall obtain a dig number from utilizing either 811 or other states' respective one-call systems. The allotted time must be observed for utility companies to complete their locates. Using another contractor's dig number is never allowed and against the law. Excavations and trenches have the capacity to be some of the most dangerous areas of our job sites. Hazards can range from cave-ins to oxygen-deficient environments. It is important that we take precautions and identify potential hazards before commencing excavating and trenching activities. All excavations and trenches 4 foot or more in depth require either ladders, stairways, or ramps installed at 50-foot intervals. This is so a person in the trench or excavation never has to travel more than 25 foot to exit the space. All excavations and trenches greater than 5 foot but less than 20 foot will require one of the following: sloping, benching, shielding, or shoring in order to protect workers working within. The competent person must know the soil type in order to make the selection and make the excavation safe. Confined spaces. Confined spaces are never to be entered unless you are authorized to do so. Confined space entry will require a written plan, testing, and permitting determination prior to the employee's admittance. Please contact your supervisor should your work require confined space entry. Electrical. Only licensed electricians are authorized to work on electrical equipment. When working on or near equipment, power sources shall be de-energized and made safe. Lockout tagout shall also be implemented to protect and avoid accidental energizing of circuits. At no point in time is an unauthorized worker to enter an electrical room and power back on breakers. If a breaker is flipped off, it could indicate a problem or someone could be on the other end and result in electrocution or shock. If you need assistance, please contact the site electrician. We utilize electricity every day on our job sites to complete our work through the use of extension cords, lighting, and power tools. Cords shall be inspected and free of damage. Be sure to check the cord fully and pay special attention to the area around the plug. Tape is never an acceptable repair for cords. Cords found to be damaged shall be taken out of service immediately. Temporary lighting shall also be inspected. A minimum of 5-foot candles shall be provided to each work area. Lighting shall also be on its own dedicated circuit, protective cages closed, and missing or burnt out bulbs replaced. Power tools shall be inspected before use. Guards and safety devices shall remain in place. Tools shall always be plugged into an approved GFCI. Cords shall be in good condition and double insulated. Tools shall never be modified unless written consent is obtained from the manufacturer, and tools found to be damaged must be taken out of service immediately. Overhead utilities. Overhead electrical lines are all around us, and far too often workers and equipment come in contact with these installations. All workers and equipment operating near these lines shall maintain a clearance distance of at least 20 foot for voltages 50 kV and above. Cover-up protection, signage, and elevated warning lines should also be utilized. Hot work. Hot work is any work that has the potential to produce a spark or open flame. This includes but is not limited to welding, cutting, grinding, brazing, and torching. Hot work also requires the use of additional personal protective equipment. A welding hood or face shield with safety glasses will be required when performing this work. Permits and fire watch with fire extinguishers must be utilized when performing hot work. Fire extinguishers are available on site and are in the back of every Putker Construction superintendent truck. Please check with your supervisor on site-specific requirements when performing hot work. Employee conduct. Workers are expected to conduct themselves in a professional manner at all times. This includes wearing proper attire, exhibiting good hygiene, displaying good behavior, avoiding and not participating in theft, vandalism, fighting, horseplay, aggressive behavior or language, sexual harassment, and discrimination of any protected class. Any violation of this policy will not be tolerated. Report any concerns to your supervisor so disciplinary action can be taken. Your participation in our safety culture is how Putker Construction will achieve zero unsafe acts. As a professional on our sites, remember the acronym FUEL. Follow rules and regulations, update your supervisor of any unsafe acts, eliminate any hazards, and look at your surroundings. You fuel the safety on our job sites. On behalf of Putker Construction, welcome to the team, and thank you for your dedication to safety. If there are any questions, please ask your Putker Construction representative or supervisor. Remember, safety is everyone's responsibility. No accident is unpreventable.